Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for Politically Incorrect Knitters. I'm Deplorable Knitter, and I am joined, as always, by the wonderful and talented Ann Pinkava. Hi, Ann.
Hi. We are sponsored by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. You can go to chickenladyfiberarts.com and get 20% off your order with our code QUAIL20 PIK and get beautiful yarns such as these. Here we have her Jake and Elwood colorway, which I absolutely adore.
Ann is a
And
fan, for sure.
a big fan. Love it. These are some serious dude colors. We're gonna go crazy with these. I got some ideas. But yes, and also don't forget to miss her last chance and sale section because I got this lovely one of a kind and it's very, very pretty. So don't miss out.
Yeah.
Also, so fall isn't coming quite as quickly for DK's part of the world as it is mine, but yeah, it's kind of getting chilly here already. So you can also take advantage of well, actually, Mr. Chicken Lady's sock cranking service, where you can have socks made with Lynn's hand-dyed yarn, or you could send your own yarn in. And so if you have this skein of yarn, you're like, oh, I really want to make socks. Oh no, winter's coming. I don't have time. Perfect. Send it on to
Yep.
Lynn, get your socks made. Really perfect.
Mr.
And
Chicken
again,
Lady is the one.
that's right. Mr. Chicken Lady knows how to make socks. But again, the code is Quail20 PIK for anything from Lynn's store. And yeah,
Yeah.
get
And
her
I don't think
newsletter.
you showed the color we're giving away this month,
Oh
Ann.
no, I did.
And
I'm sorry.
we're a couple weeks late already because we had some goofiness. There was a
Yes.
point in time where YouTube wasn't letting us stream. So I'm putting it out there. We are on Rumble. I'm going to get our account going again. That kind of fell off the radar for a minute, but I'm going to get it back. So make sure you're following us on Rumble because YouTube doesn't love us, unfortunately.
No, no, they don't. But yes, this month's yeah, YouTube isn't a fan of us or talking about the Mark Steinoff case. I'm just saying. But this is Sarima Sock. This is tweet us on Facebook, Chicken Lady Colorway. Beautiful green. Lovely stuff.
It is
Anyway, so
very pretty. That
this will be
would
this month's
match this
giveaway.
this little skein that she sent me with one of my orders. It's just a little sample, but it's a nice pretty brown. It's a nice pretty boy color.
Hmm.
This is right up my husband's alley, so I'll have to incorporate it into something for him.
I like it.
Hmm
That'd be pretty cool. No,
I
I
say
was
it's a boy
just
color, but really it's an Ann color too. A nice
yeah,
brown that's all up her alley.
a nice. Well, yeah, a nice brown, you say. This is also Lynn's Holy Bible colorway. So, and I was
Yep.
just knitting with this. So, yes. But anyways,
Excellent.
last month's giveaway, which is fold cheese, which here, let me you can see it better in the shadow. It's forgive my knife hand there, look at that. But anyways, the winner for this is Miss Kara Overman. So if you could message me at politicallyincorrectknitters@gmail.com with your address, I can get this sent to you. Unless you're one of the Shark Week winners, because then we can get that all shipped together.
Yep.
But yeah, congratulations. And
Congratulations. And we had people participating in the PIK Olympics knit along. It was a much less announced thing because once again we had the YouTube troubles. But for the people that did participate, we do have a winner. You are going to get a box that is full of surprises that I would normally send a patron, but I had an extra, so there you go. Everybody wins. And the winner is
oh,
I don't remember.
the sorry, I wrote down the Stibers Fibers is the winner on Instagram.
Fibers. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So, um, message me at deplorableknitter@yahoo.com, because I forget to check the PIK email. I can only remember to do so many things, and that's not one of them.
You know,
So, all right, cool. Well, guys, thanks for participating. Thanks for commenting, for posting, because it helps us. Anytime you do any of that stuff, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff helps us. So thank you. We appreciate it. So my friend Anne, what
yes.
have you been doing this week? I mean, we talked about it on Tuesday, but is there more? I have no
Most of the
idea
stuff.
what's in your hand, but when you pulled it over, it looked like a big stack of cash, and I was feeling very excited for you.
Well, if only. No, I was going to show
Oh,
before, getting to knitting. The Shark Week stickers came.
I mean, almost as
So
good as cash.
almost as good cash. Ooh.
Ooh,
So we got, oh, wait, this is the loser sticker. As you can see, he's eating.
that's me.
There you go.
Me and
And
like
then
four other people, guys, we're in good company.
mhm. But yeah, then we have winner, winner chicken dinner. And you get two of our stickers this year, which is pretty cool. And
Because
we
we're
have,
awesome.
yeah, because we're
I'm just
amazing.
saying.
It's our party, and we can have extra stickers if we want to.
It is our party. Okay, sorry.
Anyways, but yes, and we also have the stickers from our lovely, lovely sponsors. So there we go.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this out. But who's that with the pink? It's the bottom corner under picture programs. Who is that?
This one,
Mhm.
that is Mom and Evan.
Oh, I have no idea. Okay, cool.
There we go. And Annie Stitch in the Sky. And there we go. Shauna Stitches, Wise Owl, Program, Blocked.
Yeah.
Knit Night, Texas Peach, Chicken Lady, Mystery Mouse, Two Sisters, Carol. She has a little, hang on. Sparkle, sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle. Excellent. Cool. So,
So,
yay, Anne's gonna be
anyways.
getting those out soon. Thank you for doing it,
Yes.
Anne. You're the best.
Oh, I try. I'll be sitting here with my I'll be sitting there writing envelopes till the cows come home. But I'm well prepared. I have both cute pens and shark stationery. So, like,
I mean, what more can you ask for? And I bet you have some YouTube stuff queued up and almost ready to go. So you're fine. Or Star Trek. Either way,
either way,
I
but
mean,
the problem
you
is
win.
that, when you're listening to something and writing at the same time, I kind of have a problem with that. Like, I don't want to, you know,
Yeah. So
write and then it's like, oh, thanks for participating,
in Star Trek, and then it gets all
uh,
goofy. I get it.
yeah, warp
Um,
explosion, quadrant 5, and you're like, what? I don't understand.
um, when I have to like write something, like sometimes when I write posts for my Patreon or something, I actually listen to concentration music. It's kind of like the spa stuff that they put on. That's kind of like a zen, because
The
I live with other
lo-fi.
people, and so I can't just sit there in the quiet and do it, because if I am not looking like I'm actively doing something, everybody wants to talk to me. So I put in the headphones with that concentration music on, and then I continue on with whatever I had planned, because otherwise it's like, hey, mom, 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 mom. I mean, we've been on this for what, 5 minutes? Somebody already asked me a question through the sliding glass door, because this is how life is. So anyway, congratulations to all the people. Hopefully things will come out soon. Thanks for participating and supporting us, because as I mentioned, I think that we might be having a little bit of trouble going forward. So just make sure you're following us on all the things. We'll let you know where we are. But
We
they
also
don't
have
like us a
t-shirts.
ton. Oh yeah. We have t-shirts. I'll put the link right here so that you guys can find them. And we have Shark Week t-shirts, and we have Puritanical Name Fun Run. We have our straight up logo. Like, we have mugs, fun stuff, really, really good stuff. So
Tote bags.
make sure you check it out. So, have you still been knitting? I know on Tuesday you were like the knitting queen. Has that changed,
Well,
or?
well, I still have a couple projects to finish up. Okay, again, to show off, in case you didn't see it Tuesday, and because we were taken off YouTube, Tuesday kind of was our show for last week. So we did a bunch of news items on that too. And
Yeah,
Amy of Two Sisters joined us, and that was fun. We had a good
it was
time.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a bit of knitting wars, and it was a bit of like regular show, so we kind of hit all the bases. If you missed that episode, make sure you check it out. It's the one from Tuesday, August 11th, 12th, something like that. Whatever. Um, I'll put a link for you in the description so you guys can find it if you missed it.
Right. But anyways, so I have I still have to sew it together. Sorry, I'm still
I
at
really
that
like
point.
it. I really, really like it. And
Anyways, so
boy,
yes,
that's a lovely colorway.
I know it's like her own colorway or something. Uh, but yeah, I love it. This is the PIK colorway by Chicken Made Fiber Arts. I need to sew this together to make the ending bit on the cowl. This will be the sparrow cowl once it's out. It still needs to be tested, but also I haven't actually got the matching mitt pattern to anybody. But I've got a thumb finish for the mitt pattern. So
Nice.
hang on.
Thumbs are good.
I like thumbs.
I
Big
don't like
fan.
I mean, I prefer mitts with the thumb gusset on them. I didn't know that I've made them before without it, and it's such a difference when you actually have like a thumb. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just fits
Yeah.
better. It's just nicer and more comfortable, in my opinion. If you
Oh,
guys
I
like them
agree.
without, sorry.
I mean, it's easier construction wise, but I prefer thumb gusset, and it will have a thumb gusset. Oh, hang on. That's no use. So ta-da. But yeah, I like these. I mean, like I said, I have to put the thumb on the other one, but they're very
I really
cool.
like that hat on you too. That style is very, very nice on you.
I again, I like it, which is why I make things that way. But but yes, you too can be fall slightly homeless looking person, which is my vibe. So
And if you ever run across Anne in the wild, it's her. If she looks like a hobo, it's probably her. I mean, I'm just saying.
yeah, and you're like,
I
wow,
tell my
who's this
kids all the
hobo
time I
woman?
look like a hobo because I clean houses for a living, so I am often like wearing like bleach stained t-shirts and stuff because I'm not going to wear my nice clothes to work, right?
Right.
And on occasion, I end up taking them out in public looking like that, and then I feel terrible. So apparently, we're two homeless chicks with a YouTube channel.
It, you know,
It's
yeah,
fine.
fun. It's like really expensive to look this homeless, I gotta say.
I mean, that's
Like,
hand spun yarn. That's not cheap. So I get it.
hand spun yarn, I paid for somebody else. This hand spun
Just
yarn
saying.
too, so that's just
Yeah.
stupid expensive. Again, to look this homeless.
Yeah. There's a
But
guy that is local-ish to me who has been selling some hand spun yarn. And I want it so bad. And then I look at the prices and I'm like, but I don't want it that bad. So I'll just keep looking at the pictures. Thanks.
yeah, it's just really pretty. But
I still don't want to spin though. So I guess that's the thing. Maybe
I
someday.
mean, sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta.
I do really
But
love that hat on you.
I like a slouchy hat. Um, but anyways, the pattern when it comes out, the hats and the hat and the mitts are just going to be one size. I mean, if you know where you're doing gauge wise, you can move it up or down, but the basic pattern is going to be there. They're not ultra complicated. None of this is ultra complicated, actually, which is why I love it. But the sparrow cowl, because you start at the center point and move out, it's really, really simple to change it with gauge and yarn and how big you want it to be. If you want it to be like closer to your neck than I have it, then
Hmm.
super easy to adjust that way. You can even go bulky yarn if you are really, really bold. But
If you're like me and you don't want to spend like days knitting it, you could get bulky yarn and be done in like several hours, which would be also fabulous.
exactly,
So
exactly. So
whatever.
anyways, so yeah,
Oh,
so working on that. Again, hopefully have the pattern out soonish. Um, Otherwise, I have a sweater that I started. Again, I am like in full fall mode. I'll probably have some more warm days here, but also like
I'm
winter's coming.
surprised that fall comes so early there.
Yeah, well, it's been kind of a weird, like rainy year too.
Yeah,
So maybe
here
that's
our
just it.
July was way warmer than normal, and then August has been kind of cool, so I get it. Like everything's a little goofy. It's probably global warming,
Yeah,
I'm sure. Um,
sure of it.
cool.
Yeah, anyways, working on sweater, which is flip. One second. Yeah, anyways, I've shown it a little bit before, but working on the Open sweater by Baby Cocktails. There's not much of it yet. It'll be bigger soon. And yeah, that's what
Well,
I've been doing.
very good. I've not been doing much, honestly. Actually, this week I have been like planning for our school year, and I'm teaching so my knitting class has like leveled out. I've taught the kids a lot of different skills, and so I'm starting at the beginning again. So I'm going to be starting with how to tie a slip knot and how to cast on, and so I'm working on getting my curriculum for that. And I'm a little excited. I'm teaching a third class, which is weird for me because I usually only teach two, but it's going to be a book club.
Okay.
And some of the kids that were in my knitting class, my high level knitting and crochet classes, asked me to do the book club because I mean, I would help them learn how to knit and stuff, but also during the class, we would talk about books we like, we would talk about our animals. Like it was just kind of a yes, it was a class, but it was kind of chill and we were talking about all different things. And so they said, would you, since we're done with your classes, would you do a book club with us? So this week I've been planning that. We're going to start with um, a, we're doing two books, The Secret Adversary, which is by Agatha Christie, and then we're doing the Scarlet, the Sherlock Holmes one. That's the Scarlet something. Damn it.
Oh, Study in Scarlet?
A Study in Scarlet. Thank you. I knew it was there.
There you go.
And as I was going over the stuff we're going to do and stuff, I remembered reading The Hound of the Baskervilles as a freshman and despising it. And so I
Oh,
hope
really?
that A Study in Scarlet isn't terrible. But it's kind of fun because my stepdad is a huge reader. And so I said to him, would you read these books with me so that I can kind of get some discussion questions down for when I'm facilitating with the students? Because everything I do is super chill. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I don't really have an agenda. I'm pretty chill. So I do need
Not
some
secret
questions though.
conservative agenda that you're implementing with your homeschool kids.
I don't need to have a secret conservative agenda. Pretty much everybody at our homeschool is on the same wavelength. And if I tell them that I
It's a
podcast and I
public
do this, they're
conservative
like,
opinion.
what? And then they want to know what my channel is so they can watch it. So it just is what it is. But it's been a lot of fun. So that made me not do much knitting because school is coming in like 2 weeks. I have to, New York's weird because I don't think a lot of places start after Labor Day, but we usually start after Labor Day. So I only have a couple weeks to get this going. My kid is going to turn 9 next week. What? We're going camping. So life has been that. But I did start knitting this hat. There's no pattern for it. And I had this like super great idea about how to do this like it's not a linen stitch, it's some slip stitches and stuff, and it's really awesome looking, but I don't think it's appropriate for a hat. So maybe it's more of like a cowl thing. I haven't decided yet, but I'm using these colors. I'm fairly certain that this one is Chicken Lady. I think it came out of the grease box. And then these two other colors I got from my local yarn store. They were mini skeins that I bought. But I thought it'd be fun to make a hat with some different colors, some stripes, some texture, because a lot of us get mini skeins and you don't necessarily want to make the shawl or the sweater or whatever it is that goes with it. And so I just thought it'd be fun to kind of get some, they all go together. really nice, I think.
Yeah, they're
And
pretty.
kind of have them play together and see what happens. So I might just leave this part and keep going. I might not. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, that's all the knitting I've done, which is not much, unfortunately. I am not Anne.
Oh, don't
But
worry.
I am almost ready for school, which is new for me because usually I'm behind the 8 ball. So, you know, win some, you lose some.
It's all right. Well, like I showed, most of the knitting that I have is like, hey, I have this little tiny bit that I haven't finished yet. Ah.
That's okay. Life is busy and it's what it is. So, anything else happening that we need to talk about? I don't think anything new is happening in the knitting world per se. So, do we have much politics to talk about? Like,
Well, the ongoing march of JD Vance is weird is just it's gotten to astronomically ridiculous levels. That
I don't get it. I personally,
well, see, I'm just
he's
sitting
such
here
a nice guy, and I hear him
like
talk, and
this
he
is
has
the
ideas
most.
that make sense. And how can you not?
I know it's like hello, all of the sort of counter, politics against him is all like, oh, this is such a weird dude, and they're pointing to literally the most normal conservative guy. That's like, hello, this is a guy. Here's some pictures of him from his terrible past. He has passed out in the corner after beer pong. He once dressed up as a goth girl for a college party. And another time in high school, he standing there, looking like someone who just got back from playing Halo, wasn't, and three of his high school friends, they were three girls doing a joke photo that they were pretending to use the urinals, and he was standing beside. So I'm like, oh, this is so weird.
Oh
It's like,
no.
oh no,
He's
it's
a
a
normal person who has grown up with social media and stuff around him. Whatever. So they think he's weird because he did stuff that was like high school, college age shenanigans. Is that what you're trying to
yeah,
tell me?
yeah, and okay, not only that, but all right. Hello, JD Vance, as a high schooler, had three female friends who would do a joke photo with him. I think that that's a pretty good indicator of whether or not people thought he was creepy. Like
Yeah.
most of the time, teenage girls, if there's something a little off with you, no, they're not talking. They're not interacting. They're not doing joke photos in the men's room.
No, you're right. And I mean, the shit that we know that Kamala was doing is so much worse than him like goofing around with friends. Like I don't understand. Like let's
Yeah,
imprison some black men and keep them in there longer than they should be for free labor. No, that's okay. But him having some weird photos with some buddies is bad. Like it doesn't make any sense.
like, oh no, he was wearing really baggy jeans while he was passed out after beer pong. What could he possibly be up to in the corner, passed out by himself?
Right. And how about the fact that we have Kamala on camera laughing about doing smoking pot after she had imprisoned people for smoking pot.
Hmm.
Like if we're going to go this route, like there's so many things that we can bring up about the nonsense of it.
Oh yeah, and not
These people need to
to
be throat punched, Dan.
not that I would advocate such a thing in Minecraft, but no, and then
Just
you
saying.
have Walls who is, running the gay recruitment club after school and taking weird money from China and trips and lying about his service and lying about being assistant versus head coach. His Everything about him is fake and awful. His
A
wife,
lot of
I mean, I've
strange
said it
things.
before, but his wife who said that she opened the windows in the house because she liked the smell of Minneapolis burning. Okay, that's
But that's
ugh.
normal. That's not weird.
Yeah,
JD Vance
that's
passed out
just
after beer pong because we haven't been there before. Who among us cannot say, okay, besides you, Anne, who among us can say that they have not been passed out after doing beer pong? I mean, really. It's not many. I'm pretty sure it's not all those hoity-toity people, just saying. Um, I was listening to somebody talk about Tim Walz and his church, and so he's a Lutheran, and he is part of the crappy part of the Lutheran, not the LCMS that I'm part of, which is the nice part of Lutheran. It's the crappy, really out there, nonsense part. And somebody was speculating that because he supports those Lutherans and he goes to that church and stuff, that he's closeted. And I have no personal issue if he is, but I mean, it does beg the question, why is he constantly pushing for like kids to transition, kids to be gay? Why is he part of the club? Like, if he's a straight dude who's happy being a straight dude, it's weird that he's pushing that on the kids. Am I wrong? Do you want me to cut that out?
No, I would agree that it's totally weird. But okay, it's like, hello, Minnesota, my neighbor, the home of Prairie Home Companion, where people,
That's so funny.
no, sincerely. And they would always talk about the Lutheran Church. And yeah, it all went nicey nice. It all went liberal. It all crashed and burned, and you're living with the consequences. And it's like, oh, well, I want this idealized view of Minnesota. And it's like, well, honey, I don't know if you saw the BLM riots, but that's what Minnesota is now.
Minnesota's
It's
on
not,
fire. I'm sorry to tell you.
yeah, I'm so sorry that it's not the Mary Tyler Moore show anymore.
It's the
And
governor's wife smelling the smoke from the tires, enjoying it. It's
yeah,
bizarre.
yeah.
Bizarre.
It's apologizing for what race you happen to be. It's not just rhubarb pies and, weekends by the lake.
I'm a fan of both, honestly, but
I mean, of course.
who's not? But yeah, no, it's. I just want to know where Kamala is. Have we seen her?
Oh, she and Walls did an interview with each other, which is kind of like taking your cousin to prom, but they told each other the puff questions that they normally would expect CNN to do, but they didn't actually have to go find a date. They could just sit there together and laugh and cackle about what a great time they're having.
um, I missed that, but I did see JD Vance on all the shows, like firing back at people, having real conversations with people. It was fantastic. And it's too bad that we can't have this happen. Also, I wanted to ask you, has anybody seen the president? Because I don't
No,
recall seeing him lately.
no,
And he is
it's
still president, right? Maybe?
yes, yes, I conscientiously believe so. It's his name on the plaque and everything. It's like they've given up all pretense
Mhm.
of propping Biden up at all. And no, it's Kamala. And actually, Kamala's brand new. She hasn't even been around since the last 5 minutes. And it's all joy.
Oh, yes, that's what everybody's saying.
Joy.
It's the campaign of joy. No, it's the campaign of crazy. I've never heard somebody cackle like that. That's not a normal
Well,
person. That is not
well,
joy.
it,
That's nuts.
it's also it's the forced idea of joy. It's, like black girl joy. Like you just want to take away black girl joy. And I'm like, what are those words
No,
about?
she is not
Yeah,
okay.
like,
It's
yeah,
not black
that's
girl
not
joy. It's just like a little bit
no,
goofy.
also, yeah, I, 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 I think race specified joy is a little, it's a little wacky,
Are we gonna call
but
that a little bit racist?
yeah, it's a little
We
bit
can say it.
racist. Yeah, we
I
can
mean,
say
YouTube
that's
hasn't said we can't yet, so
a little bit racist, but not to mention the whole like joy camp thing, the whole no, no, this is joy, or okay, and again, the sort of gender debate that people like when you have people who are looking to transition and they talk about gender euphoria. Okay, I am just overwhelmed, over just glowing and bubbling because I'm a woman. that I don't,
It's not normal.
that's
Um,
not a normal thing. And that seems to be the goal oftentimes of people transitioning is like, no, I want to have this gender euphoria. And like, hi, this is my skin and I wear it, but I don't think of wearing it because it's just something that I
it's
have.
not a
If I,
costume,
yeah,
perhaps.
it's kind of,
It's just
my own flesh and blood in which I happen to inhabit.
yeah.
I try to keep it well, but um, are you a lizard person? It's just, it's not a
So
normal way to talk about yourself. It's not
right.
a, I
So
don't
see,
know.
this is Clementine. Clementine's a girl because we know that because she had girl parts before we spayed her. Should we let the cat decide what she is? I mean, how come we know that an animal is what it is, but a person can be some sort of fluid? Oh no, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh no.
I mean, how do we draw the line on this? I have so
Mm,
many questions. Anyway,
right.
female and
No.
black joy. It's can we have torty joy? She's half brown and black. I mean, just saying.
Ginger Joy. Oh no, too much. Please stop.
No, the gingers are gonna suck your souls out. Don't talk about them. Um, no, but it's just so weird. And now everybody knows what a woman is again because Kamala's a woman. Like, I just don't understand this whole flipping and flopping. JD Vance is weird, but Kamala cackling like a loon is fine. It's totally
Mhm.
normal. It is not a symptom of any sort of mental issues at all. Um,
No, and I've said this before, but I just have to wonder. It's like have the people who support Kamala, she's the best, she's the greatest, she's so smart. So smart. So have you listened to her for let's say 15 minutes? Have you listened to her
I don't
talk
think you need 15 minutes. Have
uninterrupted?
you ever listened to her when she's not using a teleprompter? Would be a more accurate question.
That is true, but I'm just putting a general, I mean, after all, hi, I'm a Trump supporter. But I've listened
No, are you
to
sure?
crazy, crazy, but I have listened to Trump talk 4 hours. I've listened through his entire campaign rallies. Not like everyone, but I'll tune in. I have listened. I listened all through the RNC. I listened to the different people there, to what they had to say. I listened to Trump's interview with Elon Musk. It was a very good one. You should check it out. But I have listened to Trump at length. I
Mhm.
think I have a pretty good bearing. Um, and again, perhaps Kamala Harris supporters have listened to her at length, and this is just me projecting, but was the cackle ever a concern? Like,
Cackle
did
is
she
a
seem
creepy thing.
very did she seem like really put together with her, you know, what can be unburdened by what has been, which is some
Dude,
creepy doublespeak.
that is a Marxist mantra.
Mhm.
Being unburdened by what has been is a Marxist saying that she probably learned from her Marxist father, just so you know.
Right. And she is, I mean, previously, um, well, even well, obviously now, but previously her political records are one of the most left-leaning thing. She is
Not one of. She was ranked as the most left senator. She was a senator, right?
mm,
Even more so than Bernie Sanders. But now they've scrubbed that from the internet because they go through and they update things from time to time.
oh, it's crazy.
And also, before anybody gets sucked in with the tax on tips thing, it was Trump first. And also, she was the deciding vote to tax tips, just in case anybody wants to try to tell you that that didn't happen.
Right now she's like, "Oh no, I didn't do that." Like, "Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah, but
you did." And
I just saw the video where she was like, oh, it's tied 50-50 as the president of the Senate. I get to choose. I vote yay. It happened. And I know that their goal is to like start it's like to 1980 for us, for real, to like start changing things and making it so that we don't believe what we see. But we haven't gotten there yet. And we can still see that she said these things. So I don't know how they think they're going to convince us that it didn't happen. Just
Right.
sorry.
No, but it is very much a double speak thing of a, oh no, I did this, not Trump. What is Trump thinking? Trump never did. It was just me. It was just me saying they shouldn't tax tips. I can't believe those evil Republicans want to tax your tips. This is crazy. Where did this come from? All her the whole time.
Mhm. The nice thing that I've seen is that a lot of people are calling out their peers for saying that they're going to vote for her for being a woman or for being black. And they're explaining her record and they're explaining, because I don't know how else it's going to change. She's always going to be a black woman or an Indian woman or whatever she identifies as today. And so at least people are starting to say, well, have you seen her record? Have you seen that she kept men incarcerated longer than they should have? That she was not for the black community, that she, doesn't care about people who are just trying to make a living wage, that that's the only thing that can happen. And that's why we also need to be sharing the things that she herself has said,
Right.
because there's a whole bunch of, oh, well, this didn't happen or that didn't happen. If you can have an example of her saying nonsense, Marxist crazy nonsense, put it out there because people need to know. Just saying.
It's very true.
I've been
But
listening
yeah,
to way
and
too much Dan DiMaggio. He says that the whole election is going to be snippets and snapshots. And so you need to like get those little bits out there because they make a difference. That's what people remember. That's why JD Vance is so good, because he has those little bits that he gets out there, you
oh,
know.
he is very good. Um, but yeah, the Trump's been getting out there too. And gosh, I love that man. Sorry, not to hi. My name's Ann Pinkava. I'm biased. But out there, he's out there doing like little
But
music videos saying too big to rig. You know,
right, but that's the difference between us and other people, Anne. We do have a bias. We admit it. We're not trying to hide anything.
but when his speech that he had at the RNC, okay, one of my favorite parts of the speech, okay, best part was definitely the ending saying he that he pledges that he wants America to be a place where you have the opportunity to dream and do what you want to do for yourself, for your family, for your country. But one of the parts of the speeches that I just loved, what he was talking about um the family graveyard in Kentucky, and that if he's buried there and his kids are buried there, it'll be seven generations of Americans. And to look at the past, not to be unburdened by the past for the future, but it's like, no, this is our past. This is the great enterprise of our nation. This is the dream. This is the opportunities that we build for ourselves. And to continue that, to continue the innovation, to continue the dreams, to make it possible. Um, it's kind of like, okay, to take the politics and kind of scooch it back to an analogy. It's like the difference between genies and fairy godmothers, which sounds a little trite, but in a story with a genie in it, you will the main character will ask the genie for something, and instantly fabulous wealth or something else will appear. And as the story progresses, if the story ends well for the person, they'll realize that they didn't need those things all along, right? That they didn't ask for the right things, that just suddenly having wealth or anything else really messed up their lives for them, or it's a monkey's paw situation where, you ask for some fabulous riches and, it real and something horrible happens in order for that to make sense. As opposed to you have this kind of with a fairy godmother, you don't ask the fairy godmother for things. You wanted something, you worked towards something, and there was just something in the way. You sewed yourself a dress to go to the ball, and and it got torn up. There's no way for you to do this. Pinocchio wants to be a real boy, but first he's got to come to life. You have something that you desire, but you just need that much of a help, that much of an obstacle removed, and then you have to work the rest of the way. You're just given a chance. And you have that little difference in the messaging between the two parties of these people are horrible and we'll give you all your dreams instantly is very much the genie's proposition of you want to be wealthy, we're just passing out checks. You want people over there to be punished because they're terrible. We'll just do that. We'll break the system so you win. And on the other hand, you have very optimistic, hey, there are obstacles in your way, and we want to remove those obstacles so you can go out there, so you can get your dream, so you can achieve what you want to do, and not, we're just making it, we're freeing you up. It's just one step. Those inhibitions are
Right.
gone. You're free to do the right thing as opposed to breaking it so you get an advantage.
No, that's absolutely accurate. And I don't know if you've read his book yet, but I did the audiobook of Hillbilly Elegy, and that's something he says in it. He talks about how you have to kind of like, you can't have the mindset that you can't do things. Yeah, maybe you need a little step up. Maybe, him going into the military is what gave him the step up to get into the colleges that got him to where he is, but he wasn't handed things.
Mhm.
And it's that whole mindset thing of I can do better because I want to do better, not because there's a difference between thinking, oh, I'm so oppressed, I can't do this, I can't, where he's like, dude, stuff sucks. Like it's shit here, but I'm going to do what I can to make myself better. And that's, I, if you haven't read his book, you guys should, for one. But he
Right.
talks
But
about
yeah, it's the
that thing.
mentality of nothing can happen unless something magically appears, unless somebody comes out of the blue that, I mean, what it's like, it's impossible for me to do better. I couldn't possibly, unless, you get a lottery chance or something like that, some quick wealth gain that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible for me to work my way out when, as opposed to the other mentality of if if I, if I were freer, I'd have more of a chance to do it. If I didn't have these factors against me, my work would be easier, but I'm already working. I'm already
Mhm.
striving for something. And um mostly people helping each other, not some out of the blue chance helps you, but
Yep. No, but I think that that's one thing that's really obvious this go around is that the whole mindset thing. We've got somebody who's saying, "Oh, you're oppressed. Everything's going to be terrible for you. We're going to help you. We're going to make it better." And we got, somebody like Vance who's like, "I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. I went into the freaking Marines. I did what I could to make my life better because it kind of was shit." And he wasn't like in his book, he never was like, oh, the people in my life were shit, but like sometimes the circumstances kind of sucked. And he talks about that. And it's just this cycle so far is such a difference between the people who are like, oh, we're going to give you stuff because you deserve it because you've been so oppressed. And him who's like, fuck that. I just went to the military and I did everything I could to make it better. And thankfully, my sister married a good husband who was a good example. And I got this person that was a good example. And I learned how to be better. We need to get out of this mindset of like, oh, we're too oppressed. Oh, things are too bad in this life. Sometimes stuff sucks. Sometimes it's just terrible. And you just have to work through it. And it has
right.
nothing to do with skin color, what you look like, your gender, if you want to do better, you will find a way to do better. And I think a lot of people are sick of this thing.
And not to mention, okay, nihilism literally kills people, which seems like a weird, mindset thing, but it's like, no, really, if you cannot see a way out, if you cannot imagine a better way, if you're like, oh, everything's pointless, I can't, why are we even doing this? Why are we even, fighting against this? Why vote? Why do this? Why do that? Why they're fighting? We're all dead anyways. No, that will kill you. That
Mm-hmm.
and that will kill your ambition. That will kill it's a purely selfish motivation, really. It's preventing any good you may do, not just for yourself, but for others. We fundamentally need optimism. We need drive. We need dreams. And we are a country built on striving ever better, striving to be better, and having and abandoning that, saying like, oh, everything's impossible. Like, no. And there's a lot of people around you. Like, you're not alone. You're not alone here at all. There's a lot of people who see what's going on. There's a lot of people who don't fall for this, Kamala Harris nonsense. There's a lot of people who are waking up even now all the time. There's many people in this country, and there are many people who are out there concerned about this and looking to things. I don't know.
Absolutely. We're not victims. We can rise above, whether or not, we look like everyone around us. I don't know. On that note, we're gonna go. But don't forget, Trumpinator loves you. No,
And he wants each of you to be happy.
Trumpinator is your best friend. No. Um, so if you guys haven't read Hillbilly Elegy, I recommend you do it because I think Vance has a place in the future, hopefully, for us. Whether or not Trump wins, I hope that he continues on because he's a regular person, and I hope that more regular people get going on this because we need people who are not. Okay, I know I said we were wrapping up, but did you know that Biden wants the Supreme Court justices to only serve for 18 years? Meanwhile, the dude's been in office longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So what's the point of both him and Kamala have been in office for like, I don't know, 50 and 30 years or something.
Yeah,
So
Kamala has also
why?
started in the attorney's office. Like that was her first job. So
Yeah,
she
she's always
too
been in
has never
government.
had a job out of government. Yeah.
So sorry, slight rant, but what the hell? We need people who have lived life, have worked real jobs, have worked with real people, because that's the problem. We have this upper echelon of these elites that have no idea what it's like to live in the real world, have no idea what it's like to have a boss that, well, maybe they like know what it's like to have a boss you don't like, but still having to work together to make it
Yeah, well, the boss they
get
don't
through every
like
day.
is us, so that kind of, explains
Yeah.
the relationship.
But it was just something that popped in my head. I'm sorry, but yeah, 18 years on the Supreme Court. But you guys think that you should be able to be in Congress and Senate and governors and whatever for that long? Fuck that. If you think you're going to put a limit on, everybody needs a limit. Anyway, that was a rant. I'm sorry, Anne. But what I was going to say is that, hey, thanks for joining us this week. Make sure you follow us on Rumble. Make sure that you check out our sponsor, Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, because she's wonderful. She makes absolutely gorgeous yarn. If you're not nailing with it, I mean, what are you even doing? You can use the code QUAIL20 PIK for 20% off of your order, or comment on this video to see if you are one of our lucky winners. It's always a
Yes.
possibility. You can get this beautiful tweet us on Facebook yarn that Anne has.
It's very pretty. And I had sat it next to this. Look at that. So pretty. Sorry. We are a knitting show, just color distraction. Ooh. You can't see that. It just glows.
But it's color work. I can see color work right there.
Oh, yeah. There you can see a little more in the
So
shade.
enjoy us and our brands. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. You'll be entered to win. But I think YouTube doesn't like us. So the more you can do to help us out, the better it is for all of us. Thank you very much. Follow Anne. She's on Twitter. I don't know how to do Twitter. Oh no, she's on X, excuse me.
I still call it Twitter. Not because I have anything against Papa Elon, just because, I'm an old fogey.
I know, right? It's hard to change. But follow us, like us, subscribe. There's no knitting wars this week, but we'll be back next Saturday. We're trying to get a guest from Minnesota. We'll see how that goes. But either way, we'll have a lot to say. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys then.
All right, bye.